welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I wanted to do a quick update on how it went at my first craft show. So I will give you a little information about the environment. So it's a neighborhood not far from mine, and it was a country club that's a membership-only country club, and they had a luncheon. And during that luncheon, they allowed so many vendors to be in the, there's like a, when you go into the clubhouse, there's a large lobby or common area, I guess you could say, with tables and stuff ordinarily. And they moved all that out, and then they set up tables around so that people could put their stuff in. So people were mainly attending the luncheon, and then, you know, they would kind of browse around at stuff. So it wasn't like a regular craft show where people were going just to see crafts. So it was only $20 a table. It's local. We don't live in the city. We live in an unincorporated county area. So that also affects it. In order to eat at the restaurant, you have to be with a member. So it's usually going to be just the people in that neighborhood that are members of that club. So I took my hats. This is one that didn't sell. I was really surprised because I think this one's really cute. My price point was 15 bucks. I thought that was really reasonable. And in addition to beanies, winter beanies, I also took these cloche style hats in case, you know, somebody wanted one, because it's where we live in Colorado. It's not super cold all the time. And then I have a couple like this that are made out of Karen cotton cakes. It's a cotton acrylic combo. I even brought this crochet hat with me. Oops. This is one of my threaded scarf hats, and it is an adult size. Several people asked me, but I think you can see it's an adult size with this scarf. I had that one for $20. It didn't sell. So I sold $115. That's net. That didn't include my $20 that I paid for the booth. I had a couple of scarves. I had this triangle scarf that I thought turned out really pretty. I'll hold it up for you, and it has tassels on either end here. And I thought maybe somebody would buy it, and nobody bought it. It was $15 too. So in addition to that, I thought I would have something small that could be, you know, a stocking stuffer for the holidays. So, and I have a video on these. I made quite a few of these towel holders. So, you know, you put this over your oven handle, refrigerator door handle, stove handle, dishwasher handle. And then you can put a towel through it. A lot of people used to do the crochet towel toppers where they actually crocheted onto the towel. However, you know, once the towel wears out, or you don't want to, if you had a holiday one and you wanted a regular one, you don't have any way to change it. By doing these, you can, you know, change your towel out and still hook it around whatever you want to hook it around, a drawer. And these are by Heart Spun by Wendy on Etsy. So you can buy her patterns. And then I show you one of mine on one of my videos. So you can check out this channel if you want to do one like this. The flower is her pattern, and it's proprietary. So I do not show that part of the video, but I show you how to do the rest of the towel holder. So I had read on blogs to just be really quiet, okay? Don't say anything to people. You know, when they walk by your booth, don't go, hey, you know, I make hats. Well, obviously you do, because you're at a craft show and you have hats. It's better to be quiet. I was knitting while I was there, and that seemed to catch people's attention. People would say, oh, you make me want to break out my knitting needles, or, oh, that reminds me of my grandmother. She, you know, used to knit. One lady even had her probably granddaughter. Most everybody is my age. I'm 56 and older that lives in this area. So I knew there wouldn't be a lot of small children or younger 20 or 30 something people there. But she had a small young grandchild, and she said, oh, look, you know, she's knitting and stuff like that. So that seemed to get people's attention. There were other people there who had, by the way, almost everybody there had really high-end stuff, big photography, art. The lady next to me was a painter, and she had beautiful paintings. She'd been painting for many, many, many years. And then another lady had handmade jewelry that was beautiful. And then lady on the other side of me, she used to have a dress shop, a really super high-end boutique dress shop. And she apparently closed it down. And I guess maybe some of the stuff she has is still her inventory. I don't know whether she's currently buying it or was left over. But she had those big racks of clothes, like you see on TV, like on Project Runway or whatever, when they're going to bring out the models' clothing and they roll out those big racks. I think she had 3 racks of those clothes. And so women were just congregated by her booth, which was good for me because if you get somebody like that next to you, it's really good for traffic because they'll eventually come by your booth as well. One lady was selling soap. One lady was selling jewelry and other little knick-knacky kind of Christmas items, little Santa figurines and things like that. There is a guy that my husband plays golf with, and his wife makes the most ingenious thing. They're called chef scarves, and it's a piece of fabric, and it has a towel sewn on each end, and you put it around your neck like a scarf. Then when you need to wipe your hands and you're looking for a towel, you have one on each end that's hanging around your neck. So that was pretty ingenious. She sold a whole bunch of those. I know because I saw her rack was full and then later on it was empty. Other than that, people weren't really buying much, not just from me, but not from the people next to me. The lady next to me was just a sweetheart, and she said, oh, the same people come to this every year, and everybody has one of my paintings, so nobody's going to buy one. And then she made these little miniature ones, and she said they sell better because people don't have to worry about where to put them in their house. And she said, I know a lot of people put them in their bathrooms. So she was really funny. But I noticed some people would say things when people would walk by, this is my whatever, and I make this way, and blah, blah, blah. And people just kind of went, yeah, uh-huh. And so, I think talking to people like that makes them feel pressured. I'm someone like that. If I go into a store, unless I want help, I don't want anybody yakking at me. So I think the best thing to do is to just be quiet, and you'll read a lot of people that do crafting shows that say the same thing. Just be quiet, let people look, let people browse, don't make them feel pressured to buy anything. You don't need to explain how you do whatever it is. If they ask you, then certainly, give them the details about whatever your craft is. If they don't ask you, they just want to browse and not be, pestered, I guess is the best word. So anyway, that was my experience. I would probably do another craft show. I would like to do one in a town near me that's a little bit larger. The problem becomes that the fees are all different. So it could be $50, it could be $100, it could be $150. So it just depends on the area, how big the show is, what the fees are. So, I'm selling an item at a $15 price point. So I would have to sell, if it was $100, I would have to sell at least 10 hats or 20 towel rings, because these are a $5 price point, to break even. So then to make any money, I'd have to sell at least 20 hats at that price point, or lower my price point, and then I would have to sell more. Whereas if I'm a photographer or a painter and I have one painting that's $100, if I sell that one painting, then I've made my money back. So it's just, it all depends on what your price point is, how much a table costs. I know just for our little bitty autumn craft show that we have in a park in September every year, and like I said, we're in a really small community, it's $50 if you're not a member of the town chamber. If you're a member of the chamber, it's $35, but then you got to pay I think it's $20. So either way, you pay $20 to be a member and then $30 or $35, whatever, for a table. So either way, you're going to spend the money. So you'll spend the $50. And I've been to a lot of these shows just to look and see what people are selling. And to be honest, I just don't see people walking out of any of these craft shows with armloads full of stuff. I think they buy one thing here and there. I think most of us do this because we enjoy doing it, not because it's our main source of living. My husband makes our main income, so I can play around with this, donate hats to, the chemo cancer centers around. And so yeah, it's the same way with these indoor indoor antique malls, I guess you could call them, or they're not really all antiques, they're all kinds of stuff. There's one near me in Castle Rock, and I'm sure it's really expensive to have a booth or a space there. And, so it's this one big place, and there are a whole bunch of little separate booths, if you will, that people have different types of items in. They might have, handmade cards, they might have jewelry, they might have yarn, whatever. And once again, I don't see people with just armloads of stuff coming out of those places. So, I don't know how well people do on Etsy. I know one of the top sellers on Etsy sells clothing. So I think it just depends on, there are certain things that sell better than other things. And you may catch people at other times of the year that want something else. So I thought maybe beanies would be a big seller right at Christmas time, but for this particular show, they weren't. I could do another show in another city and they might just go like hotcakes. So I think you just never know what, you don't know what people want. You don't know what they're looking for. You don't know what they want to spend. I think the other thing with the hats is that people didn't want to be rude and try them on, because I did have a mirror there for people to look at. I think they didn't want to try them on because, the whole stigma of, well, I don't want to put it on my head and I don't want to put it on if somebody else has had it on their head, kind of thing. And then I had a couple of people that said, oh, I think my daughter would like that, but I'm not sure. So, they don't want to buy something for somebody and then, them not like it or be worried that they won't like it. So I think that was part of the problem with hats. People don't want to put them on for probably sanitary reasons. And so that, I think, was a hindrance as well. But I know these sell well, and I know people sell them on Etsy. So anyway, that was my little experience with a craft show. It's fun, and I would definitely do another one again if the entry fee probably wasn't more than $50. I don't think it'd be worth my while to pay more than that with the price point of my items. I did have one baby blanket and a baby hat, and that got a lot of attention. Of course, women ooh and ah over baby stuff. Oh, look, it's a baby blanket. I wish I knew somebody that was having a baby. I'd buy it, whatever. So I would think baby stuff would probably sell really well if people are looking for that. But once again, you would more than likely, like I said, with the age crowd that I have here, it would be their grandchildren, probably. If I did it in Castle Rock, that's a much younger median age. And so there are a lot of people that have little children. A lot of people are still having babies. So baby stuff might sell a lot better in a location like Castle Rock. What I was happy about, and I was worried about because I had read different things on blogs from people that have done craft shows, is I was worried about other vendors having the same item. There was nobody else selling anything knitted or crocheted. And some people said they've had people come by their booth and say things like, oh, well, I can make that for a lot less, or something of that nature. All the other vendors were super nice, very friendly. They came by my booth. I went by theirs. It's fun to look at other people's crafts and things. And they gave me compliments. They were really nice. And I think my hats are at a price that, if someone said they could make it for that, I would probably help them with a pattern. That wouldn't bother me at all if somebody said they could make it and they were somebody that did crafts. So I did not have any kind of negativity at all. Everybody was really nice. So I hope this is helpful. This is my wrap up for my craft show. Thank you for watching.